So, health-wise, I mentioned since June, I've been having a hard time. If the hair looks thinned out, it's because it is. I was losing it by the handfuls from not taking my B12 shots, just experimenting with the body. And so I just went and had a hack job at the barber. The barber, they don't know what they're doing. So for $20 is good enough for me. Because as a woman, I'm not spending $60, $75 for a haircut that ain't going to be much better because I have curly hair, and curly hair kind of takes care of itself. So the reason why I'm talking about my health now is because I've got over, once again, after being loved, I've gotten over a bunch of major things. One of them being, besides upper respiratory infections and COVID and a horrible chronic insomnia, which happens when the Skittles want you to fly over the rainbow with them. We'll just say that. You guys know about the energetic bullshit. I don't need to give glory to it. But anyways, culties do what culties do, because culties lack. And culties got to make up gods and egregore, and they got to feed those thought forms, even though those thought forms are not real. And like I said before, I could probably make a more powerful one out of my last 3 exes. So make your own egregore. People that think that women don't know what homunculus and egregore are, guess they've never been in a woman's body before, or they just want to forget the fact that they were so that they can be hella abusive to other women. Anyone who's sexist or racist or misogynist or any of that has no clue what they are and doesn't care what they are. They only care about the fact that they aren't what they want to actually be. So I don't believe in pineal envy, unless that's because we have no power. I believe it's the other way around, because that's what mystery school teach you. That woman is the goddess, and the evergreen man comes from getting his greenery from our womb, which I've talked about before, and it doesn't have to be done that way. Not everybody does it that way. But anyways, so I was having stomach issues, horrible headaches, top down, and ear infections, and this one ear that it doesn't get infected usually. It wouldn't stop pounding, and last night it was so freaking in my neck. And I'd been working on, I have not a full-on hernia, but an area that's open in my upper stomach, upper GI hernia. I cannot think of what it's called right now, but I know. Brain just doesn't want to brain there, and that's okay. So it's sort of open so the fascia gets stuck. So I've been working on that because I know after I vomit a lot, trigger warning for those of you who are scared of that or don't like it. It's a fact of life, like taking a poop, and necessary sometimes. Anyways, so I figured that I'd bothered my hernia and my upper GI throwing up so much over a bit of time. And it wasn't actually that, it was actually the hernia in my belly button, which I've had since having children, which if I'm a good girl and careful, I maintain and I keep from getting hang-ups, because I won't get mesh put in me. I just missed the place where we stopped kind of using synthetic cord and pig gut and started using mesh, and that's what people do, they use the mesh. So I've been struggling with insomnia on and off, really bad, worst probably ever in my life since I lived with the crazies in the cult during COVID, because of them doing what they do in my life force and other major things. So going through that again, I healed, I was going back for my crown, for my full sovereignty, kind of like, I'm going to go, I'm going to face you, I'm going to stand right in front of you, knowing, not forgetting a thing, remembering, knowing everything that was done to me, and stand there and face it one more time in love. And of course I did that, and it's taken me, almost 6 months to heal. So I was putting pressure on the upper stomach, and I noticed that a little bit lower to the left, my stomach was pulsing really bad. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is the lower hernia, belly button hernia that I have. And so I'm putting pressure on the area over the vagus nerve, not, trying to push too hard because, of course, that's a main nerve. And all of a sudden, I feel this release and a pop, and everything moves over to the right. So still working on my hernia. I have this like thing, a round thing you put on your stomach, and it you can set it really low so it electronically kind of tightens the muscles. And because I've spent so much time sick, I have to start with baby steps and not just like, what I do. Dancing very carefully and slow. Like I said, I'd quit pot. I smoked it once since I quit it in the last over a month because the pain was so like excruciating that I just wanted to stop, like no matter what. And went to the hospital and they basically like give her Tylenol, like didn't check my stomach, though I told them that I couldn't poop. I was having all these signs of having a blockage. I know what that is. I grew up with my mom having them, had it before. Nope, they didn't even touch my stomach. They looked in my ears because last time I went to the doctors, I had an ear infection. Medical science has gotten so dumbed down because people are so emotionally dumbed down, and they wonder why, everything's being given over to robots because, you can't do your job right because your emotions are in the way and so fricked up, and also because everybody's overworked, and you can't have no time to yourself and be emotionally intelligent. That's my belief, having been both sides, having worked 12 hours a day while being abused, which started out with great pay but turned into just nothing. So yeah, like I know what it's like when you have to work and you can't focus on your physical and spiritual health. But when people also purposely, excuse me, I'm going to do life while I'm doing you because I only have a little time to myself. People take you on purpose so that they can take your destiny and your life force and try to switch up spots with you and all that stuff that they do in these cults of music, church of bullshit, church of I only care about myself, and because I got, gray in my gray matter, and really I'm just a puppet for the Illuminati, and well, it's not my fault I got pulled into this, and yeah, well, it wasn't my fault either, and guess what? I ain't in it. So they tell you you're in it for life, and once you can't talk about shit, and if you talk about shit, the men in black and the blee blee blah blah blues, and well, that's somewhat the truth, but nothing is ever all the truth in these groups. Of course, they're not going to tell you that there's literally a way to escape the prison, and it isn't through death or someone offing you. And I talk about that on here, and kind of like crazy out there stuff I've talked about, which, is neither here or there because it's not important anymore. I talk about how I used to astral project, and that's how I picked up all this garbage, and then I learned to astral project just from my center and literally stop dreaming. All these things were steps Spirit was teaching me. Spirit, my own energy and life force, my chi, which is really what's the God and what's the what. It's the tractor beam in your chest that opens up and lets you move ever on as a ship, a spaceship, a starship. Some people know and believe that you can just basically like avoid the heart space, but basically those people sell themselves out to a religion, and therefore in order to hide and play both sides of the same God, they have to take other people's good, beautiful, loving, light energy, and they have to put it on their degraded, yucky self so they can work with both the demonic and the gods that they are playing games with. This is what Hollywood does, and all these people do. It's why they got off innocence. And I'm lucky because a lot of times you join these cults and they know your potential, and they'll get into you fast as possible, which I already knew what they were doing because I'd been through it. And they take care of you right away. And you don't get a chance to stay alive. And so that also is like a soul mission, whatever a soul has, asked you to do while you're here, and makes that possible within a Maya matrix, whatever. And I say, the way that I made my best escape, besides getting all these detachments off me for that person and having another illuminate weirdo that astral traveled too much and made contracts with too many gods and goddesses, aka egregore, you gave your energy and thought forms to. People know I rattle here and go all over the place, or they don't know, and that's okay. I'm not doing you. I'm sharing. This is a vlog. So, where was I? So, astrally, when you project and you go into these realms, like when you take a lot of drugs and you go into like the snake realm or the gnome realm or the, these different fractal, like I went into the fractal realm with DMT, and they told me basically, oh, you're here again, go home. And that was me. Like, people who give the energy away to other things that don't allow them to escape the matrix because they have contracts with things they chose to contract to because they believe and worship that thing. They make their own choice, to, in other words, harm themselves. And I learned that cutting off all the pendulums and refusing to believe in anything, even my own angels, mentors, guides, and all that, was how I got into my center, doing certain practices I share. And this is not about Illuminati crap. Hand wonders have been around for forever, but gangs hijack them and use them for their own evil. So, before you're all like, Illuminati and yang, and this key and that, and this means you're in, and that means you're not, and this means you see, but you can't see, but you can't tell, and because you've seen, and yeah, the bullshit, the gang. It's not originally that. I use this to triangulate, to open up my own soul space, also with blowing and breathing. Every day, blowing the BS off my chakra. Every time I sit on the toilet to pee, I was blowing, energy. I was breathing, deep breathing all day long. It wasn't simple, but it all became simple habits because I just did it while I was doing my regular stuff. Having been a mom of 6 children, you've got to learn to innovate. Women do. We have to be innovative, especially these days where nobody helps you and you go it alone, literally. Whether or not you're in a family or have a spouse. A lot of times you're just alone in it, alone in life. So you get innovative, and I'm innovative because I loved to study and was very devout, and so I wanted to do as much housework as I can in the sickest condition that I ever was, with the weakest amount of limbs, like I had no muscle energy. I atrophied and everything, like digested my own muscle, which I still struggle with, and so my ketones are high because that's something I was born with. So if I could do this, learn to be innovative under so much pressure, to me, anyone can. It's simply that people choose to believe, oh, like, I'm a criminal. I gotta therefore rob. I'm the bad guy. I gotta hold up the bad guy thing because the bad guy thing, and there's no such thing as good and bad, so might as well be bad and hijack the system. Might as well be bad and hijack yourself, since you're always saying that is all you, so therefore you're saying you don't care because you're destroying you. Makes no sense. You sound like the Octurian, you sound like the Greys, you sound like the Gnostic angels. If you look at the pictures of all those things, they're the same thing, aka it's the same thing, and there's good and bad and there's sides, just like with humans. And there's, the Igigi that people show pictures of look like the Octurian mother, who was like taller. They weren't all bent over, they were stronger, gentler, not toxic. And then there were the ones that looked like the Igigi, who were little and ripped, and they only cared about getting shit done because that's what they were bred to do. And for thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years, supposedly, slaves to be. And so I don't blame anyone stuck in a slave system for trying to figure out their way out, because I did. But I also am not going to agree with any form of violence or whatever, because even Tank the worst in having murderer, apist, and these horrible people's energy in me, on me, so they could take my light and go hang out and pretend they were healer and love and light and get somewhere in life and manifest shit while they left me with absolutely nothing. These type of males are going down, by the way, because they are a wormhole virus. And as I scried in April with the solar eclipse, it's going. And so I tested myself with these people again because the prophecies I got and stuff about my crown and that this was the last thing that I was ever going to do to help anyone was to get through my own crown ideas, my sovereignty. So male and female unification here first. It's energetic. The three become one, body, soul, spirit. Moves up into here. One attains the crown and then gets to the place where nothing can shake me. Like, I can't get sick. Sickness is a lie. It's not real. And then, okay, I have that. I'm going to lay that down. Okay, this might sound crazy to people, but it's me. Okay? What my soul journey came here to do. So you can judge me. You're going to waste your energy. Thank you. But anyways, so I wanted to lose that and to put it back on again and to prove myself that I could do this because it is part of healing the lie of what these people put me under. And I'm not here to heal things just for me. I got involved in a contract to heal my family lineage, which I joke about because it's evil, left, right, left, both sides, matriarch, patriarch, dark mother, dark father, Vlad the Impaler, all these English kings, all the royals, who are also related to all the presidents, which people in this country don't want to hear because they think, oh, he fought the revolution and whatever. It's just a fraction of a fraction. Divide and conquer, says all the slaves and the slave drivers and my exes. So, like a disease, they think dividing and conquering is the thing. But what do you think? There's no way to heal? So I wanted to set out on this journey not only to heal myself and my family lineage, but my daughter, who delved into the darkness of the dark mother and demonic realms, which I share. And no, she's not completely healed, but as I heal, she heals. As I heal, people turn up everywhere in my life, and they're the same people, whether they're conscious or not. They're the same gray matter, egregore, gray matter thought form takes them over and they start attacking me. Whether they do it narcissistic outright or they do it covert. And that's been that way with both my daughters and with myself, attacking myself. And now I've just gotten to this place where I won't allow myself to be weakness I don't need to be. Yes, I've been sick. Yes, I have to take care of myself. Yes, I have less energy than, some other people do. So I've got to take care of me. And I'm not denying that, I'm simply saying everything is mind over matter. And when one can lose the crown and gain the crown and go in and out of hell literally multiple times, the holy Nana Ishtar energy thing, which my mate's like, oh, I've been that since I was a child. We're all born with a toroidal field. Just because someone tells you about it or you find out about it doesn't mean you get it. When I was a Christian, I thought I got it, and I could talk anyone under the table and preach anyone under the table, but I didn't get it. I got the outer court. I did not get the inner court, which is the human being, which is the mystery school that's in every religion. So, stop with your Jesus is the only way exterior, because Jesus came to live, rule, and reign within you as a Holy Ghost, you say, who sits on the throne as God over all. But he's outside you and everything's outside you, and you give your money and your church and your devotion, and that's okay, because that's what slaves do. Devotion goes to the external, not the internal, until the internal man becomes everything, and you start seeing the internal man narrative in the whole of the script, which, by the way, the Illuminati doesn't want you to know, and neither do any of the slave drivers here, because you'll stop imploding for them and you'll make your own energy from the heart center out, which these people can't do. They have to take life force from slaves, from you. And they get all the perks of, I can live wild and fancy free and have my orgies and do all these dark things and hate on the mother, hate on the feminine, while mining her energy and going to give it to another chick with a dick, which I have nothing, I'm telling you once again, This is not about your actual preferences. It's about what I experienced in a cult and what people can use these things for. It doesn't mean you do. But I'll tell you, we all have narcissism in the slave system. And we all need to come out of that in whatever way we need to come out of that. Part of that is hating yourself and hating the form you're in when you're nothing but a spirit. You're not this body. You're not this mind. You're a living soul. And once that living soul ignites because you choose to daily baptize it with love, consciously love that center energy, that ignites. So do all your chakra, which align with this, which prove you don't need to take from other people. And yes, when I'm depleted, my body naturally will. So I'll go around the people that tanked me. I won't let them be part of my life, but I'll go around them and I'll just call my energy back because that's mine, and then I have to work through the defilement of it too. And so whatever, like green man, I'm the green woman of the next age, and I'm the goddess. Goddess is green anyways, so ever pure. And it's not about calling yourself a goddess and wearing everybody else's light on yourself. That's all Hollywood BS lies and crap of staying impure in this world because you want to stay in this world. You want to live forever. Yeah, well, you might live forever, but you're going to go with the egregore and the gods and the energies you worshipped and gave yourself over to, which is why you steal life force from other people, because you think everything's about now. Problem is, you want to gain external knowledge, external wisdom, external experiences, external effery, external slavery. Oh, I'm the great slave master psychopath. Yeah. So the F what? You got a job as a prison guard. Wow. Anyone could do that. But not everyone could tolerate the horrible way that you have to treat people to be that when you choose to be that. Okay? So there are some elites and some great writers from since the beginning of time who write about this male-female oneness and bringing the two together, and it's about absorbing the feminine divine energy. We have a portal here, we have a portal here, we have a portal here, we have many portals, we're portals. You want to be the one portal and carry on forever, which Thoth talks about. It's got to be through the heart space, bowing to your own soul, igniting the chakra, healing yourself over and over again, and healing every lie and contract these demonic or demoted, same thing, energies put on you of slavery here. That's how you get out of the matrix. And I've shared some videos of another goddess channel that she teaches all of this, and I don't agree with all of her belief systems about how hard it is to get rid of energy, because of course I've experimented on my own self and taken on things and had to learn, through fear and facing literal death over and over again. But it gets to a place in life where your soul is just like, hey, I was born to do this. I'm going to do what my angels, mentors, guides, aka thought forms within my own body, say to me. And you can be puppeted by the external if you're not awake to those things. And then you realize you are all those things. You take command of those things. That's what being a goddess is, by the way, and what witches want to attain. They don't want to attain service to another god, though they think they do, and they do. You're just serving the red and blue, the black and white. You're just being the polarity here. And that's okay, because we're all the pole between heaven and earth. But if you want to be that Vesica Pisces, you want to gain control over that eye, that center, and carry ever on, then you need to wake up to the fact that what you're looking for isn't in a religion or a practice, it's you. And there's some hella crazy, amazing witches that will tell you that they worship Satan and Lucifer and they literally know themselves. But they're not going to tell you that because that's part of their game to collect money. And yeah, I don't agree with what they're doing in the shystery, trickery, shite. We all got to have some degree of trickery within us to beat the system here, especially laughing. As I share often about the laughing. So I've been real sick. I've recovered from multiple things this time, and I'm never giving my sovereignty away again. I've literally had to watch people perish in front of me, and that's okay, because If I spoke truth with my words and they rejected it, they're not on the path to accept it, and that's okay. And my reality, how I got here in spirit and soul form, isn't their reality. And I cannot be attached to the duality here and to the who's real, who's not, who's completely taken over by an egregoric thought form or a demoted energy or, the gods they worship, and their wrong ideas of, say, Yahweh and Jesus or Jehovah, and how they literally make those into evil pendulum no matter what. That's what everything consists of here under the cross that cuts off the head, that kills one. So people invert it. And they invert it because they think they're going to get the power of inverting it. And the power lies in, get rid of it, open your own eye. Here, below as a woman, here and here. Same as a man, here. Open your eyes, see. Believe that your body is a whole seeing light being. And there's people here that are here to stop us from doing that literally. And that's all they know, because the prisoners, the agigi, the prison guards that don't want to have your jobs, that kind of took over here, when Anunnaki and Nephilim and all that whole story of the Moon-Eye people and the Light people and the Atlanteans producing offspring with us whom they weren't supposed to. I can go on with those stories. They're all connected, but not all of them are 100% truth. Like, you got to find your way in that. So, and I'm not going to give it all away. I can only give my opinions. And I mean, I have people that just like, no, they know everything. They know everything because they have 1 million subscribers on YouTube. So that means they can't know anything different because they can't be wrong. And they tend to be very dominating, very hypersexual, and most likely male. Not always, sometimes femme. Femme tends to hide her corruption better. Not saying that's good or right. So, yeah, you can heal yourself from anything, literally. And so I've had to break off. I can't be around anybody who believes they can't heal themselves. Here and there, I have my friends I see and I enjoy their company and I love them. They're precious souls on their way searching, and it's their way. It's not my way. So it's literally their way, and I have to agree with things they say and keep some stuff to myself. Because if not, I get angry and bitter and hateful that nobody listens to me and nobody wants to know the truth about the Octarians, the aliens, the Greys, the Agigi, the space crap, the underground tunnels, and all that stuff being the same thing. Inner Earth, the Gotha, has their slaves, okay? They look like Gollum, who also looks like Harry Potter. What were the little slave things that are so cute there, that served Harry Potter but at the same time didn't want to because they were slaves? And then, Dobby, someone gave him a sock and, he got free because of trickery. So trickery can be used for good. That's what these spirits are. If you were created to live 60,000, 100,000 years and you can't get out of a slavery contract because you're not actually able to really die, I feel sorry for them. I don't hate them. I don't hate anyone who's been in that position. So in my next video, I'm going to talk about, hopefully stay on track, talk about portals, dark entities, loving oneself, and how that pushes everything out and lets you have a glow up. Thank you.